Hey everyone, welcome to week 5 of FTM Television, Gender Identity and Sexuality. Well, let's just get started then. Gender identity and sexuality are usually a very, I'm not going to say touchy topic, but they definitely do push a few buttons for some people. It's, a lot of uneducated or just misinformed people will treat someone's gender identity when it's not from their assigned birth sex like it is a sexuality in and of itself. The whole myth that all trans men start out as lesbians or you have to be straight to be trans. It's a lot of that sort of thing. It is harmful to our community as a whole, and it doesn't exactly help the current relations with any sexuality community, like even heterosexual and homosexual relationships. If you're talking about like this person's gay, this person's straight, they both treat trans like its own separate little sexuality category, when in reality that trans person might either be gay or straight, or, you know, none of the above, bisexual, pansexual, asexual, any of that. Another problem with this is that because trans is not viewed as a normal condition, a lot of people expect other aspects of transgender individuals to be normal. And a lot of the time, in certain societies, that means entirely 100% heterosexual. No. Transgender people can be any sexuality. I know lesbian trans women, entirely gay trans men. I myself am pansexual. I have known my sexuality from a very young age, if not my gender identity as well. It's just something that I happen to be. Do I control it? No. Do I have to be a certain thing based on what society is telling me? No, because obviously if I was being something that society was telling me to be, I wouldn't have just put blue in my hair. I live in Texas. This is not exactly a, you know, very normal thing to see. Although I love it, so yes. I think a lot of the problem is that because there are misinformed people who treat transgender individuals like, because you're trans, you can't possibly like someone of your same identity because, well, you're trans, you must be heterosexual. Why else would you transition? Well, I transitioned for me, first off. I'm not transitioning for someone else. If I was transitioning for someone else, then that would just be a foolish little thing that I was doing, and I should stop that right now. Essentially what I see with people saying that, oh, gender identity and sexuality, same thing, or they're entirely related, is like, okay, say Earth. Earth, happy little Earth, is my gender identity. Just sort of rotating around, doing its thing, not really bothering anyone, not interacting with anyone. Moon goes around it sometimes, doesn't really matter about that. My sexuality would be Pluto. It's not even considered a planet by the scientific community anymore. It is a planet, but we'll get into that later. So, yeah, they're so far apart, it's not even worth mentioning. To assume someone's sexuality based on their gender identity, or even based upon how they look, is foolish. Oh, you must be a woman. You have such a lovely long hair. Or, oh, you have to be a lesbian because you got yourself a buzz cut there. Or even, I can tell he is a homosexual by the way he walks. And I've heard that one before a lot. It's kind of really funny. But no, that doesn't work like that. It's, entirely a different concept to say, like, a lot of the problem is that people sometimes see heterosexuality as a default condition. They say, oh, well, since most people, most being a subjective, not quite quantified term, is like, oh, well, most people appear to be heterosexual, or they, don't act gay, or they don't seem like they have inclinations toward the same sex and or gender. It's like, well, we're going to assume that everyone else must be heterosexual. And no, people, it doesn't quite work like that. No. Because society teaches people that heterosexuality is the right way to be, or if you're not heterosexual, you must be homosexual, which leads to an entirely different problem with those who believe that bisexuality is a fake condition, or there's something medically wrong with bi and pansexual people. Well, now I'm starting to ramble. I really am. I know I am. I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't know if it was the 30-hour bus ride I got off of it. Well, about 24 hours ago I got off the bus. Or if it's just me being strange because of the blue dye has gone to my head. But I'm just going to stop rambling for now. I'm going to sum up and say gender identity and sexuality are entirely separate things. You can have any gender identity and any sexuality. It does not matter. You are a person. I am a person. These people around me, the guys on the channel are people too. They can be straight, gay, asexual, pansexual, bisexual, omnisexual, any other sexual you want to shake a stick at, I don't know. In all honesty, it does not have any bearing on their, existence as men or male-identified people. And just as they're being a male-identified person, it has nothing to do with their having a sexual attraction to anyone of any gender and or sex. So, yeah, that's where I stand on the subject. And I'm gonna say this might be my last video for a little while. Xander might be coming back to the channel. We hope so. We love you guys. And that's all I have to say for now. Tune in next week, and I will see you all later. I'm gonna cut this part out.
You and I, drunk again. Laughs have been had and tears have been shed. Maybe the whiskey's gone to my head. But if I were gay, I would give you my heart. And if I were gay, you'd be my work of art. And if I were gay, we would swim in romance. But I'm not gay, so get your hand out of my pants.